I'm finally a family nurse practitioner. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Natalie, but I do go by Naty. I am a new family nurse practitioner. I'm so excited. Thank goodness. The first part of my journey is come to an end, and it's so sweet. So basically my channel is to help pre-nursing students, nursing students, FNP students get through school. I give them advice throughout my personal experience and kind of just help them navigate through. What I also do now is I also look at nursing resumes as well as personal statements or essays. So if you need any help with that, go ahead and check the description down below and see how that works out. So it's been a little bit of time, probably this whole year, that I have not made a video. I'm very excited to get back and start doing it again. I definitely have a lot more time since passing the test and completing my master's. I am going for my doctorate starting in the spring of 2022. So I'm very excited for that, but I do have some time. So I want to keep continuing making videos because we have a lot more to talk about. Oh, so I have a new dog and he's very loud. Oh, all right, one second. So this is him. His name is Bubbly. And he's super sweet, but his bark is so piercing and it's so loud, right? Yeah, you wanna sit here? Okay. So, this video I'm gonna talk about what I did to pass the AANP test, which is your Family Nurse Practitioner boards. So there is an AANC and an AANP. Hey everyone, this is Editing Natalie, I suppose. So I was just re-watching my video and I realized I said AANC and AANP. I just want to clarify that that is a mistake. So AANP is correct. It stands for the American Association of Nurse Practitioners. And instead of AANC, I should have said ANCC, and that stands for American Nurses Credentialing Center. So if you hear me say AANC, I mean ANCC, so that is my bad, but those are just two of the different nurse practitioner boards tests you can take. All right, back to the video. So I took the AANP. It is 150 questions. Only 135 of those questions count, and those 15 questions are kind of like, I think like some sort of, they're just trying to look for statistics or just trying to see how those questions work out or whatever. So basically only 135 of those questions count. And this particular test is all multiple choice. As far as the AANC, I believe there are more questions and there's different forms of questions. I think there's multiple choice, drag and drop. I think there might be select all that apply. There's just more different types of questions. And I believe for the AANP, which is the one that I took, is more heavy on clinical based questions, whereas the AANC, there's some nursing roles or professional role type questions. So depending on whatever test you prefer to take, I would do the research to see the differences on both of those tests. I could probably do some research for you guys and make a video on that. If that's something that you guys would be interested, please let me know down below, or you can email me if you have any questions specifically. So I took the AANP and I did 2 different review courses. He's gonna be doing this all the time. So I took, it's called Sarah Michelle Review, and it's on Facebook. And if I can find a link for that, I will put it down below, because the way that I got onto it was another nurse practitioner student at the time. She invited me to the group. So I don't necessarily know if you can request to be in the group on your own, or if you have to have someone invite you, or if you can probably email or send a message on Facebook through the group to see how you can get on it. But regardless, I'll figure out a way to let you know how to get there. So Sarah Michelle's review was incredible. It was spot on. It got to the point. It was a great study guide. Basically what her review is she has 3 different courses that I'm aware of for FNPs or AGMPs or whatever. And you have a in-depth diagnosis course, you have a crash course, and you have a medication course. And I think if you purchase all 3 of them, it's a bundle, versus if you want to pay each of them separately. So I got the one that has all 3 of them. So basically she has videos for cardiology, pulmonology, dermatology, etc. and she gives you a PDF study guide. So while she's going through the video, you can be filling out the study guide. There's, fill in the blank type questions, room to put extra information. I would recommend going ahead and just watching all the videos, filling out all the study guides, so you have all those study guides readily available. So she has a PDF for the crash course, for the in-depth diagnosis course, as well as for the medication course. So what I did, I used her course, and then I also used Leak Review. And there's a Leak Review edition 3 and 4. I did 4. So I am aware that there's a Leak Review book, and then from the book, you can have a link, I'm sure, somewhere in the book to get the questions. I did not do that. I just went to the Apple store, got the app Leak Review edition 4. I'll put it up here what it looks like, because I think there's 2 of them, so I want you to get the right one. I did all of the questions in the Leak Review, and then I read the rationales, and then I typed out those rationales onto a word processor, and then I had kind of like another study guide to go through, because the Leak Review had more in-depth questions and things that honestly I've never heard of going through FNP school or even going through nursing school. So it was nice to have that extra bit of information. So I had that. I've done the questions. I did practice questions. I kind of had 2 study guides, one from Sarah Michelle and one that I kind of created from the Leak Review. So I studied very intensely for a month and a half. So the first couple weeks, I did all of Sarah Michelle's videos, had all the study guides down. I don't really learn from direct lecture. I learned from taking my time afterwards. So while she was going through the videos, I wasn't worried about learning the information at that time. I just making sure that I wrote everything down that she said, and you can stop and pause and rewind and stuff, which is a great thing with her course. I'm gonna be bald if he keeps doing this. And so basically I did that. I finished all the reviews. It took probably, I would say, a couple solid 2 weeks, because I was writing down all the information. If you want, I believe she gives you a PDF copy, or you can download it to Canva, and then you can just type, the information there. Whatever's easier for you, whatever's quicker for you. I decided to handwrite it because I am a visual learner and a tactile learner. So that was kind of good for me, because indirectly, it's kind of like I was learning the information. So I did that, and I made sure I had all the documents there. Then for a solid 2 weeks, I studied just those pieces of information, all of Sarah Michelle's. And then I studied intensely, all of them. And then for another week, I did all of the Leak Review questions. I think there's about 600 or 700 questions roughly, and then there's like another 145 random questions too. So I took, I took the next 7 to 8 days to do roughly 100 to 150 questions a day. And I did all the questions, not quickly. I tried to get the correct answer, but because I also wanted to test my knowledge as well. So I did that, and then I was writing down rationales that I didn't remember or that I didn't know. If there's something that I knew, I didn't really write it down, because whatever you know. But if there's stuff or pieces of information that you've never heard of, I would definitely recommend writing that down. So in every day, I was kind of creating a study guide each day. So once I was done with all of that, I had Sarah Michelle's study guide that she created for us, essentially, and then the one that I made throughout Leak. So then the next couple of weeks, I was just going, studying all of that stuff. And then on the Leak app, there's a place where you can customize quizzes. So I did kind of like, if I was bored of studying the information, I would do, some customized quizzes, or if I was bored with that, then I would go back and forth. So then after a while, when you're studying the information, it kind of gets to a blur when you're reading the same thing over and over again, and then you start questioning yourself, or you're just reading the same thing and you're not actually retaining information at that point, because you've studied the same thing over and over for so many times. So that's to the point where I got the FNP Mastery app, and I'll also put it right here so you can see. The FNP Mastery app, I did the 3-day free trial because I already knew ahead of time that app was very, very difficult with the questions. It kind of deteriorates any type of confidence that you had going in. Some of the questions are easy, and some of the questions I was like questioning my life's decisions because some of the questions were bizarre. Never did we learn any of that in school or in nursing school or anything, or in life, you know, during clinical or whatever. I know. I'm talking to people on the street. So that was kind of a confidence killer. But I already knew that going in, so I didn't let it kill me, you know, in a sense. But that's why I wanted to tell you guys that the only reason that I did the 3-day free trial is because I was so bored studying the other stuff that I needed something new. And I did some of those questions, and I think I got about, I want to say maybe 300 questions roughly done or more with the 3-day free trial. I just did as many questions as I could, wrote down rationales as I could, and then I was not going to pay to have anxiety, essentially. So that's what I did. So basically I used Sarah Michelle Leak Review Edition 4 and sort of kind of use FNP Mastery, although I do not recommend it as a solid study source. I would definitely recommend it if you just want some other questions just to practice going through questions, but I would not say do all of FNP Mastery as a solid study course. That's just not my recommendation. So I passed AANP actually a couple of days ago when I'm making this video, and I passed on the first try. And I thought it was very straightforward. What I did is I went through all of the questions, and then I had kind of more time to calm down and relax. And so I went over and checked my work and made sure that I answered everything, make sure I read the question properly, and just kind of going through that whole process. So that was what I used. It was very helpful. I recommend Sarah Michelle so greatly. It's a little pricey, but I do recommend her study guides because they were on point. They got straight to the point. There wasn't all this fluff. She gave you everything that you needed to know, went over all the body systems that you needed to know. Also, if you're an FNP student, she went over pediatrics as well. So she covers everything that I believe that you need to know to answer these questions. And even if it's not directly correlated, she gives you the information that you need to know to get to the answer. So I definitely recommend that. I recommend Leak. The questions are very, very straightforward. They're not these bizarre questions like FNP Mastery that you're just kind of questioning your life's decisions. I think they're very well structured questions, and of course read the rationales because they'll help you answer other questions and they'll help you on the exam. So that's what I did. I recommend it. I'm so thrilled that I'm finally a family nurse practitioner. I definitely plan to make more videos. I definitely have some videos on deck that I'm ready to film, and I'm so happy to be back. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really missed being on here and giving advice and talking to you guys. Again, if you guys know any nursing students or FNP students or whatever it is that need help with their resume or need help with their personal statement / essay, please go ahead and look down the description bar and look to see how that process goes if you'd like me to take a look at it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, whatever time it is, and remember to always believe in yourself. I believed in myself, and I'm finally a family nurse practitioner. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.